Hey guys, Eric Johnson here, the Team Z guy, and I want to talk to you guys about something that's really been on my heart lately. I want to talk to you about how to be positive. It's kind of a funny thing because I know my wife, Lisa, she's always telling me that I'm the most positive person she's ever met. And I know a lot of you guys know me, and you might think the same thing about me. Why is Eric so positive all the time? He's always got a great attitude. And I just want you guys to know that it's not something accidental. I wasn't just born with a positive attitude. I mean, as a kid, I had all kinds of anger issues. My parents divorced when I was a baby, and they remarried a million times. I mean, between my parents, there's 9 marriages. And I was bounced around a lot as a kid, and I was angry a lot. I mean, I was always throwing things through walls and breaking tennis rackets and just losing my mind as a kid. So I just want you guys to know it's not a natural state of being. It's something that you do intentionally. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that on this video. Because you guys know that if you don't eat good, healthy foods, right? You eat unhealthy foods your whole life, you're going to end up sick and unhealthy. I mean, look around. That's the state of our society. Well, I mean, people, diabetes, obesity, heart disease, like all these things are happening because of what people eat, right? Or what they don't eat. They eat bad stuff and they don't eat good stuff. We know this. You guys know this is true. Why are we surprised when people are unhealthy in their state of mind? Why are we surprised that people are angry, that they have anxiety, that they suffer from depression? All of these severe mental disorders that are happening, why are they suddenly happening so much more than they ever did it in history? Is it because people are born that way? I mean, look, I know a lot of you guys struggle with this stuff, and I'm not trying to downplay it, but I am here to tell you this, that if you're not being intentional about what you feed your mind, and also your heart and your spirit, I'll talk to you a little bit about that, then you shouldn't be surprised that you have an unhealthy state of mind. Just like if you're in an unhealthy physical condition right now, and you look back in the last 20 years, and you did not eat good, healthy foods, you shouldn't be surprised. Now here's the good news. Just like you can turn your health around by changing your nutrition, you can turn around your state of mind by changing the way you think. So what was the turning point for me as the angry little kid to be the person that everybody says is so positive now? I'll tell you, it was a simple thing. I was assigned to do a speech in 5th grade. I was 10 years old. And the speech was on optimism. What does that mean? I didn't even know what the word meant. And my dad gave me this book. Guys, I've had this. This is the actual book he gave me in 1983. Okay, See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar. Have you guys ever heard of Zig Ziglar? It's all about positive thinking. Zig Ziglar is amazing. I read this book, and I want you guys to see this because, look, you can see I had a highlighter. I don't know if you can see that on the video. My little 10-year-old hands highlighted things. And a couple of things that I learned from this very first book was this. I am in control of my attitude. What does that mean? I am in control of my attitude. That means that nobody has the power to ruin my day, ever. I am in control of my attitude. I get to decide how I'm going to be today. Right? Now, that's hard to do when you're already in an unhealthy place. You have to build it up. It's just like you build up your strength by eating good food over time, and I'm going to teach you guys some things to do. But the important thing is, you notice this. Now, one more thing I want to just show you. This is pretty cool. When I was 28 years old, I got to meet Zig Ziglar, and I pulled out this particular book, and he signed it for me, which is kind of cool. You guys see it right there. Zig Ziglar signed it. He signed it. He also told me Romans 10:9, go check that out. And he told me that was valuable because with that signature and $1, I could buy a cup of coffee. Now, that was a few years ago, right? Can't get a cup of coffee for $1. And Zig Ziglar's no longer with us, but it made a big impression on me meeting him. Now, what's kind of cool, too, is Zig Ziglar met me and in a moment knew what was missing. And that's why he gave me that verse, by the way. For those of you guys who know what that verse is, I didn't know, and I looked it up. And that began my journey with God, which is also part of this process, you guys. So thank you, Zig, for writing down that little thing and just suggesting it to me. For those of you who are curious what that was, it's Romans 10. Okay. I'm kind of off on tangents, but I really feel strongly about this, guys. There are things you can do intentionally to change your state of mind. If you want to be a positive person, if you want to be an optimistic person, if you want to be a person that achieves great things, here are some things you can do. okay? Just like if you're going to get healthy with your physical body, you need to clean out your cupboards. You need to do the same thing for your mind. We need to clean out the trash out of your cupboards. So what does that mean? I'm going to tell you a couple of things. The first thing you need to start working on is eliminating negative self-talk. Eliminating negative self-talk. You know what I'm talking about. I can't believe I did that. I'm such a loser. That's actually something I used to say to myself all the time as a kid. That's so stupid. I can't believe I just did that. I can't do this. I'm not like him. I can't do that. These are things that you say to yourself all day long. You guys with me? I can't lose this weight. You say negative things all day long. And guess what? When you say it enough, your brain believes you. Your subconscious mind believes you, and it keeps you there, holds you there. Those beliefs become a jail that you live in. So how do you get rid of those? Here's what you do. It's really simple. There's a bunch of things you can do on this. There's some great books. You can write them down, keep a journal, and burn it at the end of the day. I actually did that at one point in my life. But here's the easiest thing. When you hear that come out of your mouth, just say it a different way. Right? I can't believe that was so stupid. Okay. I'm disappointed that I did that. Next time I'll do it better. You just edit it. I'm terrible at this. Go, you know what? I'm not good at this yet, but I will get better. You just edit it. Just let your mind hear you say the new version of it. That's the first step, is you're going to eliminate your negative self-talk, and you're going to start doing a better job of editing it. Which leads us to the positive side of that, which is affirmations. Affirmations are where you train your brain, you reprogram your brain to believe what you want it to believe. I'm actually excellent at this. I'm actually good at this. You know, I'm not someone who thought that I was good on camera or was good at training people, but I believed I could do it. I had a heart to do it. And eventually, look, here I am doing it. I'm also somebody who's naturally shy. People look at me and they say, can you teach me how to be a networker like you? How are you so well networked? I'm a naturally shy person, but I knew I needed to learn that, so I believed I could do it. That's where you need to go. You got to start retraining your brain. So get rid of the negative self-talk, edit it, and replace it with some positive affirmations, okay? Now here's another thing I want you guys to get rid of. All the negativity in your life, you need to limit your exposure to it. Right? Like in our house, we eat organic. We don't feed our kids high fructose corn syrup. We don't do, as much as we can avoid it, we don't do any artificial food colors. We don't do artificial sweeteners. We just don't do that because we love our kids so much. We want them to have healthy bodies as they grow forward. You need to look at the negativity around you and start eliminating it. Are you listening to negative music? I mean, I love heartbreak songs and negative songs. I mean, because those emotions are real and they're human. But try listening to some uplifting music. You know, back in the day, we used to make mixtapes. And then when we got iPods, we made playlists. And, you know, some of you guys have known my story about how much we struggled financially and how much I struggled professionally through the Great Recession a few years ago. I created a mix. It was called Great Day Mix on my iPod that I listened to every day on my way to work. And it took me from that, oh my gosh, this is going to be so hard, into, wow, I'm really encouraged for this day. I'm excited. And they were songs that were uplifting, songs that were positive, songs that had a great beat that put me in a great mood. When I walked into my office, while everybody was depressed and scared and nervous, I walked in with my head held high, with a beat in my step, and I was ready to conquer my day. The music made all the difference. I eliminated the negative music, and I listened intentionally on positive music. Okay? There's one thing you can do. Another thing is like this, the media, all the negativity that's happening everywhere. You got to tune it out. You got to tune it out. And one thing that I do, for example, is I love my iPhone. For those of you guys who are iPhone users, iPhone News, you set up iPhone News with all the channels that you want. Once a day, I scan through iPhone News so that I stay aware of what's happening in my world, and I tune it out the rest of the day. I tune out all the negativity. I don't focus on that. Okay? I want to know what's happening, but I don't need the negative spin of all the media outlets that are throwing it out there. So eliminate those negativities. Are you a big horror movie fan, for example? Like, that stuff brings you down. That puts darkness in your life. I'm not saying you can't enjoy that sometimes, but I'm telling you guys, you got to be intentional about what you feed yourself. I mean, I love to eat donuts, but I know if I ate a donut every day, I'd be sick. Are you with me? So, like, if you're watching TV or watching movies, pick things that are uplifting, inspiring. Be intentional. What are you feeding your mind? Let's talk about personal development, for example. What are you eating on a daily basis that's good? Are you listening to positive podcasts? You're watching this video. Hopefully these are always going to be positive and uplifting for you. But you got to be, get an Audible account. Listen to audiobooks. And don't get Audible to listen to novels. Get Audible to listen to things that'll help you be better, to help you improve your mind, your spirit, and your heart. Okay? Feed your brain the good stuff. Identify a few podcasts that are uplifting and inspirational and listen to those regularly. Buy books. Read books. People go, Eric, how do you read so many books? I try to read at least a book a month and do 1 or 2 Audible books a month. So that's 3 books a month. That's what I try to consume. Why? It's the same reason why I consume 4 pounds of baby spinach every month. Or every week, probably. It's the same thing. I'm consuming it to be healthy. I'm consuming it to be happy. I'm consuming it to be uplifted. Are you with me? So you got to be intentional about this stuff, you guys. I'm telling you right now, you need to eliminate the negativity and you need to increase the positivity if you want to be a positive, optimistic, happy person. Okay? It's important. Also, let's talk about negative relationships. You've got people in your life who are dragging you down emotionally. They're so negative. Now, you need to limit the time that you spend around that negativity. Now, I know some of them sometimes they're right there in your home. They're family. They're people that you love. I'm going to tell you guys a little story. Years ago, my dad kind of fell in hard luck and he came to live with me. And my dad is, gosh, how do I say this without sounding mean? Because I absolutely love and adore this man. But for most of his life, he's a very negative person. As he got older, became kind of curmudgeon-y. Cussed a lot, complained about everything. Everything was somebody else's issue. And he came to live with me, and I was really concerned about having the negativity around me all the time. And a couple things, I laid the ground rules. It's kind of strange when you become an adult and you become the adult figure to your parents, but I laid the ground rules. Hey, Dad, while you're staying with me, I don't want to hear you complaining about the government or about everything, right? I don't want to hear the foul language in the house. Now, look, I'm not saying you guys can't cuss, and I'm not saying I never cuss or swear, though I don't do that often anymore. The Bible says that what comes out of your mouth reflects what's in your heart. So, if you have a foul mouth, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I am saying, though, that there's probably some darkness in there that you need to work on and focus on that. How can you express more love and joy, right? And what you say is actually part of that. So I laid the ground rules with him. Look, I'm working on myself. I'm working on improving my situation in life. I'm working on me, and I want you to help me with that. I need your help with that. Do you think you could help me with that? So he was able to actually, he thought I was a nut, by the way, but he did it for me. He did it for me. And I just have to tell you guys, that process changed his life and his outlook too, because now my dad is somebody who is incredibly loving and expressive and caring about other people. Does he still have a foul mouth occasionally and complain about the government? Yes, he does. But it made an impact on him living in that environment. And if you can create an environment that's more positive for you, that's going to help you too. Okay, so limit your association with people who are negative, and the people that are closest to you, just tell them what you're trying to do. Ask them for help. Okay, ask them for help. Okay, so a couple other things I want to talk to you guys about. This concept that you can do this on your own. It's a total myth. You can't do anything on your own. If you were designed to do something on your own, you'd be the only person on earth. We rely on others. We need other people to help us. You need accountability partners. You need people that are on the same journey with you. So you got to replace those negative relationships with positive relationships. Who do you know? Is it somebody on your team? Or is it somebody at church? Are there people that you can hang out with, that you can connect with, that are positive, that are on the same journey as you to improve themselves, to be closer to the person they were designed to be? How can you get around more positive people? How can you make more positive friends? Does that make sense? Now, and the most important thing about this whole concept of doing it on your own is you need to be connected positively in a spiritual sense. Okay, every single morning, you guys, I get up at about 4:40 every morning, And I spend some time reading my Bible and praying. I start my day connecting my spirit to the Almighty. This is so important, you guys. This is so important because you were designed in partnership with the creator of the universe. And it's so crucial that you lean on that solid, positive spirituality to help you get through your day, to help you be positive. You know, the Bible says worry about nothing but pray about everything. And that's what I believe too, is this worry, this anxiety that eats us up. If you spend each day connected to, okay, I am made to be awesome, right? Somebody made me to be awesome. Somebody created me with everything I need to be successful, to help the people around me to be successful, to lead my family, to be happy, to be positive, to be optimistic. I have everything I need, and there's a power source I can draw on to strengthen me through that. It's so key, you guys. It's so key, because if you get focused on you and what you can do, you're going to find that you fall short. If you plug into something bigger than you, then you draw unlimited strength. And you can radiate that to the people around you guys. I hope that this short video helped. And I know I kind of went off on tangents. I could actually break each piece of this down into a long training, but I know probably you don't want to spend all day with me. The most important thing to remember is this. If you want to be positive, optimistic, successful in life, you have to be intentional about what you feed yourself. If you find that you're angry, anxious, depressed, or have other issues, it's probably because you're feeding yourself the bad nutrition that's causing that. Okay? This is not an overnight solution, but if you start focusing on what you can do now. Okay, here's one more thing I want to give you on this. The anxiety, the overwhelm. The overwhelm comes from, a lot of times, from focusing on the past mistakes, right? Regrets, heartbreaks, and then the worry that more is on the way. Okay, so the past was great because it helped you build skills and abilities, right? It also gave you bad habits. Forget the past. Bless it for what it taught you and focus on what you can do today. Now, how do you get away from the worry in the future? I already told you. Give it to God and pray about it, but you need goals. Write your goals. Get your goals out. What do you want to do? And you take your goals and you focus on those each day and you say, what can I do today to move me in the right direction? What little step can I take today to move me in the right direction? If I know where I want to go and I focus on what I can do today, that's everything, you guys. That's everything. Rome wasn't built in a day, isn't that what they said? But it was built day by day. I hope that helps you guys. I really do. If you have questions, comment, message me. I'm happy to answer them. I am not the world's gift on this topic, but I will tell you what has worked for me. And people think I'm an incredibly positive person. I want you to be too. I can honestly tell you guys, I don't know what it feels like to be depressed. I don't. This is something I struggle with my wife, trying to empathize with people. As I was like, I just don't get it. I don't understand. What does it feel like? And I know it sounds weird for me to say that, guys, but that's because since I was 10 years old, I have been focusing on being positive. Now, you guys can do it too. Message me, comment, send me questions. I'd be happy to help you guys. If any of you guys are interested in the little quote that Ziglar wrote in my book, which changed my life, I'd be happy to talk to you about that too. Thanks. God bless. Have an awesome day.